Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here with Midwest Market Management. It is Tuesday, August 12th. WASD coming out here this afternoon. Big crop report. All eyes and focus on that. Certainly, weather's still a factor from the production standpoint, Riley, but I think it's pretty much going to be all eyes on this report, at least here for the time being. Also, gentlemen, let's not forget that we shortly after the report do start out with the Pro Farmer Tour. Will be coming up here before too long as well. So again, Riley Sykard on with me here today. We got some Marcus Weather Group maps here we're going to take a look at. Riley, what do we have in store for us?
First thing I got in store is crop conditions that came out yesterday afternoon. Starting out here on the corn side, conditions dropped 1%. Iowa and Indiana up 1, Kentucky up 3, Texas up 12. Everybody else seeing small to solid decreases. This time of the year, I wouldn't say that's unexpected. Getting to the time where the crop's starting to mature, and that good to excellent rating is going to start to slip more and more each week. So corn doing nothing unexpected there. Silking percentages up to 94%, 95 average. So the crop's where it needs to be right now in terms of maturity on the corn side. So good to see there. Doughing, same thing, right at average, 58%. And then, excuse me, denting actually ahead of average by 1% at 14%. Not really anything here that's widening my eyes, just places slightly ahead of average. So moving over to the bean side, bean ratings dropped 1%, down to 68%, lowest we've seen on beans in a while. Western belt, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, all down 2 to 3. Illinois down 6 on corn and beans. I thought that was very interesting. So beans on that side of things, Illinois is the biggest bean producer in the country. So definitely worth noting there that it dropped 6%. So worth keeping an eye on there. And then Tennessee down 12%. Getting to those southern states, it's just the time of the year where that's going to happen. So moving forward, blooming progress, right in line with averages, nothing unexpected there. Going back, I guess I will still say Nebraska is still behind and South Dakota is as well, but they did a lot of catching up from last week when we looked at those numbers. So not anything that I'm super concerned about anymore. Setting pods, same story. South Dakota still solidly behind, 14%, and Nebraska 9% behind. So those numbers have caught up quite a bit from what we were seeing last week. So I'm not really worried about that by any means. So that's it on the crop conditions side. Let's move into the actual weather maps here. Starting out 1 to 5 day temperatures, that western belt continuing to stay hot, and central and eastern in the mid to upper 80s. So conditions, if you're in the west, continuing to be plenty of heat, especially that Kansas area, Nebraska as well. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on, and it might continue to keep some of the bears on the sideline, but I think all eyes are kind of on the report today, Clint.
Yeah. What's our 6 to 10 day? So yeah, so it looks like we kind of extend that heat through Kansas again for a little bit into the 6 to 10 day.
Yeah, so that it's sticking around down there, and I'm assuming there will probably be some maturity advancements quite a bit. All that heat's going to force mature a lot of crop that maybe wouldn't normally be doing that under regular conditions. So worth keeping an eye on for sure. But we're also not seeing temperatures consistently, 100 plus. There's a big difference between 90 and 95 and 105.
Yeah, so absolutely.
While it is stressful on the crop, I wouldn't say this is a monumental disaster for those guys either. So moving in the last 13 days of rainfall, a lot of spotty stuff. Over this last weekend, there's a big storm that came through southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, and through Wisconsin. Reports in that Milwaukee area had 10 plus inches of rain, and the guys that are caught in that area, really, really unfortunate. The reality is, though, I'd still say on a national level, Clint, it's not enough to make a big difference. The one thing I would say was worth noting is the areas that really needed it, Illinois and Indiana, that cell was supposed to shift around the lakes and it did not. So the areas that did want to catch some rain out of it did not get as much as they wanted. So that cell that came through was, for the guys that were right in the center of it, not very fun, but everybody else got a solid rainfall and not enough to cause any massive flooding. So moving into the 1 to 5 day here, some chances of spotty rain. Other than that, rain is out of the mix. I'd say it's not exactly friendly for the market at this point to see rain out of the forecast, but it's at least enough to, I'd say, keep the bears from getting excited to beat this market further down. So moving into 6 to 10 day, some spots there in Minnesota and Iowa that have a solid chance. Other than that, a lot of spotty stuff still in the mix and pretty standard stuff this time of year, Clint. So not really anything unexpected. If you throw all the spotty stuff together, the 1 to 13, like normal, looks wetter than you'd guess. But we'll just have to wait and see how much of that stuff comes to fruition. But other than that, on a weather standpoint right now, Clint, temperatures more of the same, rainfall more of the same. There's not enough to get bowled up, but kind of keeping the bears on the sideline right now.
Yeah, and Riley, when you run a year like this where you pretty much are anticipating above normal yields and there's just no, super extreme issues going on, I mean, the weather that we get every day from here on out, particularly on beans, still is going to have a meaningful impact on your farming operation. However, by this time of year, when there's no extreme and no concerns and a wide scale spread, the grain markets actually begin to detach from weather, and you really don't even notice. I mean, when you're in the heart of June, July, like every weather model that's released, you'll see market reaction and it becomes focal points of news articles and whatnot. And it's not even the focal point of day-to-day trade anymore right now.
No, and I mean, we're actually getting closer. September means that down in South America, Brazil and Argentina are going to start their first crop planting. So come September, we're already going to start looking more towards South America than the U.S. So that's coming up quick. We're almost half the way through August already.
All right, Riley, well, I appreciate it. We're going to get focused on the report coming out here in a few minutes. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.